You don't so much emerge into the world as you fall into it, kicked out of your mother with the grace of a half-chewed potato and immediately dropped in a mud puddle. Your first scream sounds like someone strangling a squeaky door hinge, which is fitting because that's what you'll sound like for most of your short, miserable life. There's no celebration, no goblin naming ceremony, no, look at the baby. You get a half-hearted grunt from your mom and a slap on the back to see if you're alive. If you cry too loudly, your older siblings might try to sit on you, eat you, or use you as a drum. Congratulations, you're a goblin. Infancy for goblins is simple. Survive, scream, and don't get eaten by accident. You're born into a cramped den made of sticks, bones, and a faint smell of despair. Your first toy is a dead frog. Your first blanket is moldy moss. Your first lullaby is the sound of your father snoring through 3 missing teeth. Your diet consists of whatever fits in your mouth. Moldy bread? Yes. Chewed bones? Why not? Beetles, mushrooms, the occasional toenail? Delicious. And when all else fails, dirt. Sweet, reliable dirt. There are no rules except don't stop moving. Older goblin kids are tiny sociopaths with sticks, and you're just a target practice dummy until you learn to bite back. Your mother cares about you, sure, but she also has 12 other kids. If she loses one, she'll just make another. Goblins are basically nature's oops button. Your first skill isn't walking, it's running. The moment you wobble onto 2 feet, something tries to kill you. Wolves, rats, even the camp goat. You learn fast, or you don't learn at all. By age 4, you're officially part of the tribe. This means free labor. You're sent to dig holes, fetch firewood, and distract adventurers long enough for the older goblins to escape. Your reward? A kick, some leftovers, and maybe a half-burnt rat on a stick. Goblin education is mostly trial and error, emphasis on error. You learn that fire is hot, swords are sharp, and humans scream really loudly when you steal their shoes. Lessons are usually taught after you've already been injured. Playtime is equally violent. Goblin games include rock throwing until someone cries, mud wrestling until someone drowns, and let's see who can lick the slime off the dungeon walls. Most games end with broken teeth, black eyes, or a mysterious rash. Childhood is less about fun and more about training your pain tolerance. And, you do learn skills. Knife throwing, pickpocketing, eating bugs without flinching. The classics. But mostly, you learn the sacred goblin motto, run faster than the slowest goblin. Around age 8, puberty slams into you like a dwarf with a grudge. Your voice cracks into a shrill screech that can peel paint. Pimples erupt across your green skin. Hair sprouts in places you didn't know existed. And worst of all, your nose. Already impressive, balloons into a beak-like monstrosity that guarantees no one will ever call you attractive. Romance in goblin tribes isn't exactly candlelit dinners and poetry. It's mostly headbutting, screaming, and throwing rocks at someone until they like you. Your first crush is named Wartface, who expresses her affection by stabbing you in the leg with a rusty spoon. You take it as a compliment. Adolescence also means training for raids. You're given your first weapon, a bent fork, a rusty cleaver, or a club that's just a stick with nails in it. You practice by stabbing trees, rocks, and occasionally each other. By now, you've figured out that most of your life will involve either being the distraction, the cannon fodder, or, if you're lucky, the guy who carries loot. At 15, you're considered an adult goblin, which means you're now officially disposable. You're shoved into raiding parties, ordered to run screaming at armored knights, and expected to survive on wits, speed, and an almost supernatural ability to hide under things. Raiding life is chaos. Sometimes you win big, stealing barrels of ale and sacks of food. Sometimes you lose horribly, which usually involves being punted 50 feet by an angry paladin. Your tribe celebrates every tiny victory, like stealing a goat or not losing too many goblins in a single raid. You develop a reputation. Maybe you're the sneaky one who can crawl into windows, or the loud one who distracts enemies by shrieking at top volume. For you, though, barely escaping death. But hey, you're alive, which, for a goblin, is the closest thing to winning the lottery. Somehow, you make it to your 20s. Most goblins don't. You're stronger now, maybe even respected by your peers. You've got scars, missing teeth, and a weapon that isn't completely broken. You might even get your own mud hut and a stash of shiny rocks. This is peak goblin life. You raid caravans, eat questionable meat, and collect treasures that are really just broken spoons and buttons. You even take a mate, which is less romantic bonding and more you both survived the last raid, so why not? Before you know it, you've got a litter of screaming goblin babies, and the cycle of misery continues. But midlife isn't easy. Adventurers are everywhere, and they've gotten better. The ones you used to scare off with sheer numbers? Now they've got magic swords, enchanted armor, and fireballs that can cook an entire tribe in seconds. Raids turn bloodier, survival gets harder, and you start to wonder, is this it? Am I destined to die screaming at the hands of some smug elf with perfect hair? If, by some miracle, you reach your 30s, you're considered ancient. Your bones ache, your teeth are more gaps than teeth, your eyesight's gone blurry, though honestly, that just makes adventurers look less terrifying. Older goblins get two jobs: telling scary stories to kids and avoiding fights. You're basically a retired chew toy, sitting by the fire, spitting up phlegm, and muttering about the good old days when adventurers weren't quite so efficient at murder. You might think you'd earn respect. Wrong. Younger goblins see you as weak. They shove you aside, steal your shiny rock collection, and use your hut as a bathroom. Aging gracefully isn't an option in goblin culture. You age loudly, miserably, and surrounded by idiots. Your final chapter comes exactly as expected. Adventurers. They always come. A paladin glowing with smug righteousness, a dwarf hefting an axe like he's been waiting all week to split something green in half, an elf with a bow and that "I'm better than you" face, and the wizard, the bane of goblin kind, already rolling up his sleeves to unleash some fiery doom. The boss screams, "Charge!" and you, against all survival instincts, obey. You run forward, screeching like the brave idiot you are, waving your rusty sword. For one glorious second, you believe maybe, just maybe, you'll land a hit. Then the wizard fireballs half the tribe into crispy nuggets. The paladin skewers your cousin. The elf shoots 3 goblins before you can blink. And you? You get flattened by the barbarian's hammer, which hits with the subtlety of a collapsing mountain. Your last thought, as you become a goblin-shaped pancake? Should have just stayed in the mud.